What is going on, everybody? Lou from Life Beyond the Panels, and it is time for another top 10 video for the comics that I read last week, which came out on August 12th of 2026. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. First, by giving you guys the comics that didn't make the top 10. I read 13 physical comics this week, so I have 3 comics that didn't make the top 10. The first one here being Doctor Strange issue number 9. Venom issue number 260, which honestly, I just found this one kind of boring. And X-Men United number 6, which I was kind of surprised did not make the top 10, but it was probably the weakest of the X-Men United issues. But that being said, we do have 10 issues that did make my top 10, so without further ado, let's get into it. So coming in at number 10 on the countdown is going to be Action Comics. This is issue 1101, and this is actually part 2 of the Kingdom of Zod event that's going on. So we'll get into the Supergirl portion of it a little bit later on. But yeah, I thought this was just, of the two, the weaker of the two. It felt like there was kind of like a recap going on in this one. I think Zod's motivation is pretty interesting, but I'm not going to go too much more into this because we'll have the Supergirl comic book a little bit later on. But this one here is number 10. Number 9 is going to be G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. This is issue number 331. I'm always a sucker for a good Snake Eyes story, and this has been like the ultimate Snake Eyes story, with Snake Eyes and Sean and Dawn dealing with having Snake Eyes' memories and having this Easter egg inside of them. And this has been a lot of fun, and we're going to keep on moving. We get a great cliffhanger here at the end that has to do with Dawn. And yeah, I've been really enjoying G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Always love it. Larry Hama will be collecting this till the end of time. As long as he's writing these, we'll be collecting them and we'll be reading them. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Queen of Black, Thor. Now, I thought this was really well written. I liked how it bounced back and forth between Beta Ray Bill and Tyr. I think his name is Tyr, and then Thor, which is Sigurd from the Mortal Thor, that version of Thor, and the Queen in Black. And there were a lot of parallels going on between the two stories, and I really enjoyed that. Even though it was mostly a lot of talking, it was still fun. Now, it was like a one-shot, it didn't really accomplish anything for the Queen of Black storyline. It didn't really push it forward. So I think that's part of the reason why it ranks so low here. But yeah, I still really enjoyed Queen of Black Thor issue number 1, the one-shot. Coming in number 7 is going to be The Punisher issue number 7. This was a lot of fun. We get the second part of the Collateral Damage arc. We get to learn why this guy is called Collateral Damage, and I thought that was actually a really fantastic background to the story. Other than that, it's just silly, good, fun, Punisher fun. I mean, he bites the freaking guy's ear off. We get this situation going on here with the cop who is after Frank, and they have some interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? An interesting thing happens between the two of them, and yeah, this was a good lead into our Deadpool Punisher crossover that's going to be starting, I think, next week or in 2 weeks. So yeah, Punisher is always fantastic. Benjamin Percy does a great job, and this lands number 7 on the countdown. Coming in at number 6 on the countdown is going to be X-Men issue number 35. Now, this is the prologue to the DNX event that's coming up. I mean, my God, guys, comment below. Can you believe how many events? We got Bad Seeds coming out. How many events are going on right now? We got event after event after event right now. It's like, can we calm down with the events for a second? But we have another one coming up, and that is DNX. Now, this was mostly dialogue in this issue. A lot of it having to do with Beast really struggling with his opposite self that's over with 3K right now, and the possibilities of oh, this could be my future self. And he has a really cool conversation with Magic about all that. Like, how would, how do you feel about knowing that your future self could do something terrible? And it really, even though I did not read Age of Revelations, it makes me want to go and actually read Age of Revelations in trade to really get a lot of the context, because it's kind of making that Age of Revelations, which everybody was complaining about, have some kind of meaning now, talking about what happened in those books in the future. So I thought that was really cool. We get a little bit of a potential conflict here going on with Magneto. Is he now with 3K? Is there a 3K version of Magneto? So that seems pretty cool. And I think it might be a pretty fun event. I mean, 3K's intentions are horrendous. I mean, they want to take regular human beings and turn them into mutants. So This is going to be a pretty interesting ride, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, X-Men is hits number 6 on the countdown. Coming in at number 5 in the countdown, we have Transformers issue number 35. Now, again, I love Transformers. My only issue continues to be is that it feels like it's such a quick read. I feel like the second I started, the comic book is already over because we're juggling so many different storylines. But I'd say the main crux of this particular issue had more so to do with the Thundercracker versus Skywarp confrontation, because we know Thundercracker has turned to the Autobots away from the Decepticons. So that was a little fun, like 6 pages. But other than that, we get 2 pages of this, 2 pages of that, 2 pages of that. We got, what's his name? The Shredhead, who had gotten basically injured, and however you call for an Autobot, you know, for a Transformer. But he needs medical assistance in a robot kind of way. So you had that doctor. What the heck was his name? I forget exactly what the doctor's name was that they got that we were introduced to in the last issue. But he wants to take Decepticon parts and put it into Shredhead. So that was like a couple of pages of that, and we got a really cool reveal at the end, which is going to make things even more interesting for the Energon universe. So overall, I loved it. Great artwork. I just wish like these issues weren't so fast. I want to enjoy it a little more. I want to soak a little more. So I think upon reread for all the Transformers stuff, especially the Robert Kirkman stuff, it's going to be a very enjoyable experience when they get read as a collected edition. But I'll still be here always for Transformers, G.I. Joe, all that good stuff. Coming in at number 4 in the countdown is going to be the Infernal Hulk issue number 10. Now, this is the last issue of this, although we are now getting some other stuff that's coming on, like these fight issues, like we got Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine, and then we got the leading up to the Hulk War coming up. So this is basically the end of an arc, essentially. But they had to change name and do a number 1 because it's Marvel. This was really good. We have Bruce Banner trying to trick the, what's his name, Sumangaru, I guess was how you would pronounce his name, by doing this whole riddle game. And that was a lot of fun to see. I couldn't figure out the riddle, so I'm not that smart, I guess. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to see. And we get to see Bruce Banner eventually become the Hulk again, and yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool to see where this leads into. But even though it's a final issue, it's really not a final issue, because now we got more stuff. Because we're going to have another event coming up. How about another event, guys? Come on, let's bring another event into the situation, because why the hell not? Thank you, Wallets. Goodbye, Wallets. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Supergirl issue number 1, not issue number 1, issue 16, which is issue number 1 of the Kingdom of Zod. So I really enjoyed this. It was kind of funny. I went to go rate this after I read this on League of Comic Geeks, and it looked like people hated it. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, normally I've been reading Supergirl through a DC Infinite, but obviously I'm picking this up while the Kingdom of Zod is going on. And I really enjoyed it. I like the setup here of Zod, his motivations. I also like the way this one felt a little bit different than the other Supergirl comics. I like the artwork in it and the way that she was drawn in this. It felt a little bit less kiddie-ish, like the other Supergirl comics have been drawn on, like kiddie-ish, like Archie-ish, you know, Archie type comics feel to it. And it felt a little bit more serious. There also was a lot of recap in this, and I'm guessing that just really had to do more with, I don't know why we had all the recap stuff. I would kind of like to move a little bit like faster, but that's fine. This was the first issue, so that's fine. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I love the artwork. I love the writing. I like that we have all the Supergirl characters still in this as well, in terms of Lena Luthor, and I like that. Oh, and I love the stuff between Zod and Lois Lane going on in this issue as well. So I think it's gonna be a really good event, because Zod is just like a villain that he is like awful. He's just a terrible person, and yeah, I think this is gonna be a great little mini-series thing, that whatever the heck game we call it, is another event maybe, and it started off here in Supergirl. So I guess number 3 on the countdown. Coming in at number 2 on the countdown is going to be Just Brutal issue number 5. This is the penultimate issue of Just Brutal, and it might have been one of my favorite issues of this little mini-series going on. We get to learn a lot about Dex and the mother, I forget what her name is, through the eyes of Winter. She is basically knocked out right now, so she's in this dream sequence where she's actually talking to her mother, who, spoiler alert, they died in a previous issue, and she's getting to see, they've been living for 1,000,000 years, and how they've evolved through 1,000,000 years, and how she's always kind of hated Dex. Not hated Dex, but she didn't say hated Dex. But the perception seems like, she was hating Dex, but she wasn't really hating Dex, because Dex saved her life multiple times. but she always kind of wanted more. And then by the end, Dex gets this, almost like realization of like, I think I kind of want to settle down now. And that's where then they have the kids, and they have Winter, and they have what's the son, Jordan. And we get this really cool ending because Jordan threw the sword, which is going to basically help destroy all these monsters or aliens or whatever they are. And he, the previous issue, he threw it in the water, and now Winter's got to go and retrieve it, and she's like decomposing while she's going to get it. It was pretty cool. So this by far might have been one of my favorite Just Brutal issues, and maybe it's a little just brutal that this miniseries is ending, because I feel like they could do a lot more with this, but it's a miniseries, so it comes in number 2. But coming in at number 1, I mean, let's face it, guys. Absolute Batman came out last week, and you hadn't seen it yet. It wasn't on the thing. It wasn't on the first portion of this video, so you knew Absolute Batman had to be coming, and this could have been one of the best, absolute best Absolute Batman issues we've gotten yet. It's insane what is happening now at this point. We get the Penguin and Two-Face. They all still want to be his friends. After all this, I was blown away by that. You get Bruce. He is furious, and it probably has to do with Scarecrow being inside of his head and all that. We get some crazy stuff happening with the Robins. My God, the voting, and then to see what happens with one of the Robin members. Holy cow, that was crazy. And then you get Clayface in this as well, and you get a Clayface Batman on Batman battle. You get stuff with his mother. I mean, yeah, does this comic book have 1,000,001 different things going on right now? Sure. But this issue by far was one of the best ones we've had. Issue number 23 is going to definitely go down as one of the better issues in this. And what's amazing is, like, with Absolute Batman is, like, every single issue seems like there's just another, like, jaw-dropping moment. With the Harley Quinn stuff last issue, and now this, it's been just a wild ride since we've introduced the Jack Grimm issue. We've had, it's like we had Black Mask in the first arc. We had that amazing Bane stuff in the second arc, but since then it's been all about the Jack Grimm stuff, and it's been very intriguing. Yeah, there have been a lot of different plot points going on at once, but it's been very intriguing. And again, boy, when this comes out in collected edition, holy crow, this is going to be quite the read. So really good stuff. All right, so now that we have gone through the top 10, as always, I like to see what is going to be the next cover to go up on the wall back there. It's going to be replacing the Detective Comics spot right up there on the wall. So let's go and take a look at the comics here. Again, I'm going to select a couple, then I'll show you what the finalists are for the cover to go up on the wall. All right, so I looked them over, and to me, there are really 2 books here that have the possibility of going up there. I guess we can, all right, hang on. Maybe, so I could do one of 2 things here. We have these connecting covers here. Yeah, these can just go up there at 2 spots at Detective Comics and Zatanna. But they're going to be spread apart, so that's not going to look as good, I guess. They'd have to be right next to each other. But I do like this cover, but there's this cover as well, the Wheeljack Transformers cover. So we got this Wheeljack Transformers cover, got this Supergirl cover, and honestly, I'm just going to say right now, it's going to be the Transformers cover. This cover is amazing with Wheeljack, so this is going to be the cover that's going to go up on the wall over where Detective Comics is. So I will put that up right after the video. But first, I want to tell you guys, if you guys like this video, do me a favor, click the like button, click the subscribe button, the button, that subscribe button, the bell, all the good stuff, the hype, all the good things. And yeah, until next time, see ya.